Hello friends, today we're going to be jumping right back into our SlimeFun tutorial series. Today we're going to be looking at auto-enchanting, auto-disenchanting, and auto-anviling. But before we begin, I just want to thank all of you who have subscribed. Every time someone does, YouTube gives me a notification about it, and it just makes my day. So if you could please consider checking to see if you're subscribed, it would mean the world to me. It's completely free, it only takes 2 seconds, and if you want to unsubscribe later, it's totally okay. Thank you all so much for helping to change my life one sub at a time. Alright, so auto-enchanters and auto-disenchanters are must-haves if you intend on making any powerful tools, armor, or weapons. Not only are they required in order to apply enchants from books to SlimeFun tools and weapons, they also allow you to surpass the normal vanilla restrictions on enchanting. We'll talk more about this, but first, let's talk making them. Here's the crafting recipe for an auto-enchanter. It requires a vanilla enchantment table, 2 carbonado, an electric motor, and 3 witherproof obsidian. We already know how to make an electric motor as we have to make them for just about everything in SlimeFun. Carbonado is made from a synthetic diamond and a carbon chunk, both of which are made from compressed carbon and flint, as you can see here. All of this is made with basic machines, so we're not going to spend too much time talking about it. However, one useful number is that each carbonado requires 8 stacks of coal, which is almost a stack of coal blocks. The witherproof obsidian is where things get a bit tricky. In order to make this, we need to make hardened glass, which requires a reinforced plate. A reinforced plate is 8 reinforced alloy ingots in a compressor. Trust me, I hate making reinforced alloy just as much as you do, but it's definitely worth it. Eventually, I'll show you guys how to make an automatic factory for reinforced alloy ingots, but for now, I'll give you guys this. These are all the materials required to make a stack of reinforced alloy ingots. As these are super annoying to make, I always suggest making them in bulk in order to save time in the long run. And this material list should help. So it's going to require 4 stacks of iron dust, 4 stacks of iron ingots, 7 stacks of copper dust, 4 stacks of aluminum dust, 2 stacks of lead dust, 3 stacks of silver dust, 11 stacks of gold dust, 3 stacks of tin dust, 1 stack of compressed carbon, which is equal to 32 stacks of coal, and 4 stacks of carbon, which is equal to also 32 stacks of coal. So altogether, you're going to need 64 stacks of coal in order to make a stack of reinforced ingots. In order to make an auto-disenchanter, we're going to need another auto-enchanter, 3 more witherproof obsidian, a vanilla anvil, 2 redstone, and 2 more carbonado. This means that in total for both the auto-enchanter and the auto-disenchanter, we're going to need these materials. 8 reinforced alloy ingots, 8 glass, 12 obsidian, 12 lead ingots, 2 enchantment tables, 2 electric motors, 1 anvil, 2 redstone dust, 5 stacks of coal blocks, and 3 stacks of coal. Alright, so now let's talk about the functions of the auto-enchanter. In essence, it takes an item, SlimeFun or vanilla, with or without enchantments, and an enchanted book. However, it isn't completely without rules, as there are still some things that you can't do, such as put fortune on shears. Also, some enchantments will apply successfully to an item but won't necessarily function. For example, applying the flame enchantment to your crossbow won't set the arrows on fire, as that enchantment only works for bows. However, axes can have smite, sharpness, and bane of arthropods. The rules aren't always very clear, and there are quite a lot of them, so it just takes some testing in order to figure out. If you have any questions about if something is possible, just leave them in the comments and I will answer with what I know or test it out for you. One thing to note is that SlimeFun auto-enchanters and auto-disenchanters and auto-anvils do not increase an item's prior work level. If you don't know what this is, don't worry too much about it, but it basically is vanilla Minecraft's item enchantment tracker that tells you too complex after being used in an anvil too many times. Here are some examples of what we can do with an auto-enchanter. Here I have a netherite sword with sharpness 5 and a smite 5 book. With my auto-enchanter, I can simply put both in there, and after a few minutes, I have my sword with both. Now it will deal bonus damage to all mobs and apply both damage bonuses to undead mobs. Here I have a netherite chestplate with protection 4 and a book with projectile protection 4. I put them in the auto-enchanter, and now I have both. Here I have a bow with infinity and a mending book. Usually we can't have both on a bow, but if we put it in the auto-enchanter and wait a little bit, now we can. Here's something you don't want to happen. Like I said, the auto-enchanter will apply every enchantment on the book to an item. This is a cut and paste. If I have a lower level enchantment on a book, then it will overwrite my higher level enchantment on the item. For example, here I have a sword with sharpness 4 and looting 3, and a book with looting 2 and sharpness 5. I want the sharpness 5 on my sword, so I make the mistake of putting these in the Autoenchanter. However, now I have sharpness 5 and looting 2 instead of my looting 3. This doesn't affect other enchantments that an item may have, only the ones that are both on the book and on the item. The Autodisenchanter is very straightforward. Simply put an enchanted item in and a book, and it will remove all the enchantments on the item and put all of them on the book. Here's an example with a golden pickaxe enchanted with Fortune 5 and Mending. I want to put these enchantments on a SlimeFun explosive pickaxe, so I'm going to disenchant it, and then use the Autoenchanter to put the enchantments on. I can even use a vanilla smithing table to then make it netherite. If you're wondering how I got Mending and Fortune 5 on a golden pickaxe using a vanilla enchantment table with SlimeFun, click on our permanent talismans video here. Now, as you can see, we have our enchanted book. Finally, we have our Autoanvil. This one is pretty much rendered useless with mending enchantments and an excess of XP, but it's still worth showing for those who may not have access to mending or XP farms yet. As SlimeFun items cannot be repaired in vanilla anvils, we use Autoanvils to repair SlimeFun or vanilla equipment by the repair factor, which is 10% for the tier 1 Autoanvil and 25% for the tier 2 Autoanvil. These numbers correspond to a percentage of the maximum durability for the item, meaning that by using an Autoanvil tier 1 with any item, at most 10 times, it will be restored to full durability. Here is our crafting recipe for an Autoanvil, and here is our crafting recipe for an Autoanvil tier 2. Making a tier 2 Autoanvil isn't very expensive compared to the original, so it's worth making the tier 2. Instead of putting a resource in the Autoanvil with the item, we use duct tape, which is a cheaply crafted item found in our miscellaneous items section. It requires 3 aluminum dust, 2 slime balls, a piece of white wool, and 3 paper, per 2 duct tape. Here's an example of the Autoanvil in action on a damaged explosive pickaxe I have here. As you can see, after a short time, it has restored 10% of its maximum durability. We can also stick it right back here to make it restore another 10%. Remember that if you find yourself repairing items a lot, it might be worth making a few talismans of the anvil, which will prevent equipment from breaking and restore it to full durability. More on that in the video right here in the corner. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section and I will get back to you as soon as possible. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and if you found it helpful, please subscribe. It's free, it takes 2 seconds, and it helps me out a ton. Thank you so much, and I will see you all next time.